Hi, everybody. It's Mark Rushton at markrushton.com. Here with Peeps. Oh, you don't want to be on the camera. I get it. You're camera shy. Go on. I want you all to myself. You go guard the door. That's good. It is Friday, November 27th, 2020. Freshly bathed and shaved, vacuumed, got the laundry's going, dishes are done. That's what, 9:30 in the morning. Let's do an early video. And I was not prepared. Give me a second here. Yeah. Last day off from work. Then I got the weekend. Then I'm back on Monday for about 2.5 weeks. And then I'm off for a couple more weeks, about mid-December, something like that. So just have the afternoon, and then let's hit this here. There we go. So yeah, doing good here. I think I'm going to do some art photography a little bit later this morning. But I wanted to talk about, we'll get to my Empress Reverb here and a little bit of story about that. But something came up here. I got an email just not that long ago from Florian Heidenreich. I think that's how you pronounce it. MP3 tag, which I've been using for a long time. It's a donationware application. Make sure this is good here. I've donated to him a number of times over the years, at least 2, maybe 3 times over the years. Because I'm just like, oh, hey, new version, new major upgrade. I'll throw him some more money because I use it occasionally. And so here in his email, he talks about at the beginning. I like it when people do this in newsletters. I'll read it. Recently, I've learned the name of something I'm practicing from time to time. Prospective Retrospection. If you're not familiar with the term, it's the process of looking back to the current point in time from the perspective of a future you. Depending on the time frame, this future, you can be in a very different state than you are now. And so I kind of like that. I don't know if I do that. What I try to do is I try to project out to the future, try to think about what things will be like 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years down the road. What's that Christmas song with the lyrics? Next year, all our troubles will be far away. Kind of like that. It also kind of dovetails in with my one of my favorite quotes is from an Brian Eno interview in 2011, and I will be showing this in the future many times because it's important, and it's what's driven me as a publishing artist, both as for music and art. As I get up here in my advanced years. I think every kid in high school, college age should read this and use it. And I'll read it here. Not that you can't see it, but I'm going to read it. And so here's the question. If you could email your 20-year-old self about what was ahead, what would you tell him? Or would you tell him nothing and just let him get on with it? And Eno's reply was, I think I'd say put out as much as you can. It doesn't do anything sitting on a shelf. My feeling is that a work has very little value until you release it, until you liberate it from yourself and your excuses for it. It's not quite finished yet. The mix will make all the difference, etc. Until you see it out there in the world along with everything else, you don't really know what it is or what to think of it, so it's of no use to you. Now, I think towards the end there, he gets a little, not exactly what I understand where he's coming from. But I love that first part. Put out as much as you can It doesn't do anything sitting on a shelf. That's I took that to heart. And that's how you get things like this. Ren Skies. And getting it out into my eBay store and getting better at taking photos of paintings. So stuff like that. So I wanted to bring that up first. Before I get to the main topic here, which I'll get to momentarily, which is, let's get over here and we'll get back to here, which is this little fella right here. My Empress Reverb. It's a little reverb effects box put out by a company called Empress. I think they're in Ontario, Canada. I'll show that here again in a second. And the reason I mention this is I've had this box for almost 2 years, and it's been very, I hate to use the word, instrumental in causing me to really up my production level as far as releases, and then releasing under lots of different names because I'll flood the market that way. But this morning, Empress had a Black Friday special, and I decided to buy an Echosystem. Let's see if we can get the little bit bigger photo here of it. So it looks a lot like the Reverb, but it does a lot of different things. And of course, you can chain these two together. Apparently, I've seen videos, and I'm not going to show how it works. There's videos on that out there, and honestly, the best videos are the ones where nobody's talking. You know, they go and talk for 20 minutes, and then they play their little guitar, and they repeat every little aspect of it. And honestly, it's just fun to play around with it. And so I've enjoyed the Reverb so much in the last 2 years that, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go get an Echosystem. Yeah, they're not cheap. Neither of them are cheap, but I got royalties coming in. I can buy gear. It's fun. It fuels my creativity. Why did I buy the Empress Reverb to begin with? I'll bring the Reverb up here, so in the screen here, so I don't have to hold this. It's kind of heavy. It's a little metal box. Why did I buy the Empress Reverb? Now, I'd been looking at effects for some time, and I've never bought any effects box in my life, ever. Never even bought like a little whatever stomp box, a little just do reverb, just do delay. I've never done that because I didn't want to have a reverb. You know how, you know, like you see these guys on stage, they've got 400 pedals on there, and they're all. I didn't want that. What I wanted, and the other thing I didn't want is I didn't want menus, because I hate men. I realized a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I'd bought some things over the years, you know, like synthesizers and stuff like that. I hate menus. I absolutely hate them. You know, that's why I like my apps, either on the iPad, and of course now some of the Android apps. There's a vocoder app that I love. I'll mess around with it in the car over the Bluetooth. It's like your vocal booth. Someday I'll record that, but. Why did I get the Empress Reverb? There's no menus. Well, there sort of is, but there's not really. There's presets. I never use them. Haven't used a single preset. I don't care. Do not care. If you're a guitarist, yeah, you might care for whatever reason. Hey, I want that particular sound for this particular song. I get it, but I'm not a guitarist. I do have a lap steel. I just like messing around with it, just like having fun with it. And when I make something, it's in the moment, and the recorders are rolling, are running. That's how I operate. So this was the reason why. Let me make this a little bit bigger here. Yeah, it's got knobs, and it's got little a thing that you scroll through with regard to your different options, but everything is with the knobs, and you can and it's super easy to find what you like. And I might have looked at I think there's an online manual. I might have looked at it once. What is thing 1? What is thing 2? What is beer? And it's kind of like, once you hear it, you're just like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it. And so this thing's nuts. I've used this, well, not every single day, but nearly every single day since I bought it 2 years ago. Every time I'm making something other than editing field recordings, the Empress Reverb is involved. And so that includes, I think I started using it on this album, Music for Floating in Outer Space. And I used it on, get that off there. I used it on Drifting. And Drifting 2. And it's all over the edge of distance. As the albums got newer, I got more used to using the Empress Reverb with the various apps that mainly the iOS apps. It was also the Aleodiology albums. There's a number of other Calmer Feeling, Meditative Drift. All those albums, they're all based on the Empress Reverb. And probably the most usage, the most effect was the Vibrating Wires album, which almost nobody has heard. And it's me noodling around on the lap steel, but there's at least a couple of tracks on there that are really, really outstanding, and the other might be just I just included them because they weren't, I did cut a lot of stuff that was just terrible or whatever, or not quite up, but you get the effect. And I've got album number 2 and album number 3 in the works here. But as far as just that deep reverb, those effects, those delays, the haunting, the endless, the sustain, right? It's from Spinal Tap. It's like that. It's like that. You just get that sound, and that's what Vibrating Wires is. I wouldn't have bought a lap steel if I had not bought an Empress Reverb. Yeah, they're $450. Yeah, they're worth every penny. You can buy all these little things and chain them together and have a million different power supplies and the plugs, or you can just buy this, and you don't have to deal with a manual and a PDF, and just hit the ground running. I love it. Absolutely love it. So yeah, it wasn't long after I bought that I started looking into their other products. And that's when I came across the Echosystem, and I thought, well, I saw a few videos, and I thought, well, that's a bit much. I want to spend a little bit of time. I want to spend a little time with this fella, get to know it very intimately. There was an upgrade to the Empress Reverb last year. It was you download it, you stick it on an SD card, and you stick it in the back. I haven't done that yet. I'm super late. It's too much too much fun. Yeah, a lot of options. I don't know. So anyway, I ordered an Echosystem today. That's my Christmas present. And I bought a Scratch and Dent and a Black Friday special. So it wasn't this much money. But you know, if you want the best, you're gonna have to pay for it. You know, I know a lot of people who, yeah, they buy little boxes and then they sell boxes and they just spend all their time searching for. It's kind of funny that this was my first. Well, this wasn't my first, but the Empress Reverb was my first. Really my first effects box. You know, I've had VSTs and stuff like that. This is exactly what I wanted. It's exactly what I wanted. No menus, and just super fun to just play around with. It's like you're a kid again. You got time. It's great. So that's my opinion. That's my thoughts on the Empress Reverb, and that's the reason I'm buying a, what do they call it? Echosystem. And so, yeah, I have to spend time figuring out how to mess around with that too. And hopefully make way too much electronic music with that. That'd be great. All right. That's the video for the morning. Yeah, exactly. Put out as much as you can. It doesn't do anything sitting on a shelf. I'm gonna go execute that quote right now. Just gonna go down, get some photos taken. So, all right, have a good day.